command of reason in order to make the right decision in your life. So this is actually the message, the story, the qissa, as the Quran says. لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي قَصَصِهِمْ عِبْرَةٌ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the story should let you know to get a lesson, the lesson to how to be guided. And you see that, nowadays they say, storytelling is so important because by storytelling, by a story, people can relate to each other. And the story actually will humanize the process of learning. Because, when you actually, listen to a story, Salaam Rahmatullah wa Barakatuh, you are getting connected, you are getting connection, and you will get interaction with the people of the story. And this will help you to make change in yourself. That's why the story has, the capability to actually drive people to make change in their lives. So that's why it is important. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually, adopting the stories to provide guidance to people. And the same actually, argument is applicable on the story of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The question is that why we are narrating over and over the story of Imam Hussein alayhi salam generation after generation, because we want to get lesson from the movement of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and because we want to know that his message is actually eternal. His message is universal. You see that the message of Imam Hussein is, for example, justice. Justice is actually, you cannot say that justice is good for one society and it is not good for another society. This is the universal concept. This is the universal request for the happiness of the society, to have justice. So we want to be sure, by remembering Imam Hussein alayhi salam, that our actions, our decisions in lives would be compatible with the cause of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This is the reason that we are commemorating Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We want to keep his message alive. The reason that we are, every year, coming to the majalis of Imam Hussein, because we want to coexist with the spirit of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the spirit which was denying the zulm, the denying and the oppression. So this is the reason we are coming to the majalis of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. That's why there is a verse in Quran. It says that the reason you are coming to answer to the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Prophet, because their call will give you life. Freedom will give us life. Is that right? Justice will give us, life. This is what the Quran says. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. O people who have faith, istajibu lillah. Respond, do istijabat, do ijabat, give answer, respond to the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِذَا دَعَاكُمْ لِمَا يُحْيِيكُمْ. When this call, if you respond to this call, you get the life, you get hayat. Hayat in Arabic means life. Is that right? So that's why you see that the hadith from Imam Sadiq salawatullah alayh, what it says that Rahimallahu man ahya amrana. May the mercy of Allah be on those who are actually reviving our cause. the cause of Imam Hussein. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam was, recommending to get together to remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam, because remembering of Imam Hussein alayhi salam will help us to be familiar with the cause of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and then there would be opportunity that we live according to the cause of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. This is the reason that Imam Sadiq salawatullah alayhi says that respond to the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, participate in majlis of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, because this is the reviving for the cause of Imam Hussein. This will make the cause of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, to be eternal, inshallah. And also we have to convey this message to the new generation, because generation after generation should be actually familiar with the cause of Imam al-Hussein salawatullah alayhi. That's why we are remembering Imam Hussein alayhi salam, because you see that there is a statement by one of the philosophers. It says that the people who don't remember the past, the people who forget the history, they are condemned to repeat it, because this is the reality. It was said that the Hitler, for example, he was saying about the genocide of Armenians. It is, even though this concept, this issue is so controversial, some people deny this, allegation, but this is what happened. About, they say, 1 million of Armenians were actually got killed. And the other parties say, though, this happened because of resettlement, not because of the genocide. But this is what happened. Hitler said that, at his time, this happened at the time of Hitler, he said that, who will remember Armenians? So then, after this statement, he actually invaded Poland. So this is the situation, that when you forget about the tragedy, about the injustice, then there would be the likelihood that this tragedy, this issue would be repeated. So that's why it is very important to remember the past in order to prevent actually this bad aspect of the past to be repeated in future. So we are commemorating Imam Hussein alayhi salam because we are, we want to say that, what Yazid, committed was wrong, and we are with Hussein alayhi salam's cause. And yes, Imam Hussein is not here, today, but his cause is here. That's why you see that what the Quran says, when the Quran says, وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ. Don't reckon those who actually got killed on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are dead. No, they are alive, and they get their sustenance in the presence of their Lord. What is the living nature of shuhada, the people who got killed in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What is that, the nature? We said that we believe in the Islamic school of thought that after departure from this world, we are going to move to the world of barzakh. This is what the Quran says. وَمِن وَرَائِهِمْ بَرْزَخٌ إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. There would be barzakh. There would be a place between this dunya and the day of resurrection. Is that right? So this is the barzakh. So it means that, they are alive. That's why we are saying to Imam, Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah. Is that right? Assalamu alayka ya Muhammad al-Mustafa, because we believe that they are alive, because you are not saying salam to someone who cannot hear you. It means that when you say salam to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he will actually receive your salam. And even the Quran says the salam, salamun ala ali yasin, for example, in the Quran we have. So the salam means that the person you are sending your salam to him or to her is alive. So this is the actually what we want to say, that we want to keep, inshallah ar-Rahman, the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam alive. Brothers and sisters, one of the messages is the message of unity. The reason that Imam Hussein alayhi salam was left alone, because the people were so divided, and also many people, they were actually driven by their lower passion, by pursuing the world positions. And when they were in a battle between choosing the right thing or the right action and getting the wealth, they chose the second. So this is the situation, that when you are following your worldly pursuit, you are not capable to offer sacrifice for the good cause. This is the reality, because sacrifice means that you want to offer your life for the sake of the good cause. But if you are attached to the pursuit of dunya, then you are not capable to offer sacrifice. And the story of Imam Hussein alayhi salam should help all of us to get the spirit of sacrifice. You see that in the months of Zul-Hajjah, it is the sacrifice of Ibrahim and his son, and in the months of Moharram, we have the sacrifice of Ibrahim's descendant, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, and his actually companions. Why? Because the sacrifice will promote the good cause. And that's why one reason is that what we are coming to majalis of Imam Hussein. Some of you will come from far away, half an hour driving, some people 1 hour driving. If you say, oh, this is very very long distance, traveling to come to Imam Bargah, remember, Imam Hussein alayhi salam traveled from Medina to Mecca, about 250 miles, and then from Mecca to Karbala, more than 600 miles, in order to establish La ilaha illallah, in order to establish justice, in order to establish Tawheed, in order to establish freedom. So, don't come to majalis of Imam Hussein alayhi salam as your last priority. That, some people, they say, okay, if I don't have, any other, situation, then I can come to majlis of Imam Hussein. The majlis of Imam Hussein is not, should not come as a matter of convenience. You should come to the majlis of Imam Hussein by feeling that you are, inculcating yourself the spirit of sacrifice. This is the motive for the actually coming for majlis of Imam al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhi. So, and there is a verse in the Quran. I would like just to recite this verse to Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Zakkirhum ba'ayyamillah. Remind people to the days of God. Zakkirhum ba'ayyamillah. Inna fi dhalika al-ayatin likulli sabbarin shakur. That one of the days of God, what is the day of God? Ayyamullah, Yawmullah. Yawmullah, it was actually by the Mufassirin, it was reported this interpretation, there is always encounter between false and truth. And when the truth overcome the false, this is the Yawmullah. That's why the Quran says, جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا. When the haqq comes, the batil will vanish away. And the batil is always, the destiny of batil is always to be vanish away. This is what the Quran says. This is the Yawmullah. That's why when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he entered Mecca, he recited this verse of Quran, جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا, and he smashed the idols inside the Kaaba. So this is the Yawmullah. And also Ashura is the Yawmullah. Why? Because this was another battle between the false and truth, between oppression and justice. And you see that yes, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he offered his life and the lives of his companions. They got killed. But this is the message that the blood will defeat the sword. This is the message of Karbala. This is the Yawmullah. That yes, Imam Hussein alayhi salam went through this, difficulty. He went through this atrocity, but he was able to actually make his movement as an example for the generation to come, that they have to stand against injustice. They should not be silent towards injustice, because when you are silent toward injustice, you are in fact the party of the actually unjust people. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help all of us, brothers and sisters, to be inshallah Rahman Husseini indeed, not only by word. As I said, if you see that it is very difficult for you to come to Imam Bargah for Majlis of Imam Hussein, remember the traveling of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. How far he traveled to offer the lives of his family as a sacrifice for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, offered salat. He offered the lives of many of his companions to establish the salat. When he offered his salat, in the middle of the battle, between his army and the army of Ibn Sa'd. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, to help us, inshallah, during this nights, during this days. We, elevate our spirits to, inshallah, meet the spirit of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And inshallah, we have to keep the Husseini spirit after Muharram. This is not just to come to Muharram and actually, to Muharram Majalis and then leave the Majalis of Imam Hussein. No, Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Imam Hussein's message was that you have to promote the word of La ilaha illallah. You have to respect the salat. You have to respect, the justice. You have to respect the morality. So all of this would be the message of Imam al-Hussein salawatullah alayhi. That's why, we have to remember him and we say salam to him. You see that there is a ziyarat. It's called ziyarat of, Imam Nahiyat al-Muqaddasa. This ziyarat was reported from Imam al-Hujjah, Imam al-Zaman salawatullahi alayhi. He was saying salam. He started saying salam to his grandfather, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And some of the phrases of this salam would be like this: Assalamu alayka ya shaheed al-shuhada. Assalamu alayka ya gharib al-ghuraba. Assalamu ala sakin Karbala. Assalamu ala man bakatuhu malaikatu sama. Salam on the one Malaika did salam to him. Assalamu ala man bakathu malaikatu sama. Not only did salam to him, they cried for Hussein ibn Ali salawatullahi alayhi. Assalamu ala shifahi dhabilat. Salam upon the lips so were parched. Assalamu ala dima'i sa'ilat. Imam alayhi salam is saying salam to the blood of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, to the flowing blood of Imam al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhi. Assalamu ala dima'i sa'ilat. Assalamu على الأعضاء المقطعات. Salam upon the dismembered limbs. Amma Zainab salawatullahi alayha. How was the situation of Zainab salawatullahi alayha when she noticed the body of Hussein alayhi salam on the plain of Karbala without ghusl, without kafan? They said that she directed her face towards Medina and addressed Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Assalamu alayka ya Rasulallah. Ya Rasulallah, this day you actually passed away. Not about 40 years ago, 50 years ago. No, this day you passed away. This day Ali ibn Abi Talib passed away. This day Fatima Zahra passed away. This day Hassan al-Mushtaba passed away, because Hussein was representing all of them. So by departure of Hussein alayhi salam, as all of them departed, because they were looking at Hussein alayhi salam as a solace. Yes, Prophet passed away, but Hussein was present. Ali was actually passed away, but Fatima passed away, but Hussein was present. Hassan al-Mushtaba passed away, but Hussein was passed away. That's why Zainab said, today all of you actually died, not only Hussein ibn Ali. Al-yawma tajaddi Muhammad al-Mustafa. Al-yawma ta'bi Ali al-Murtada. Al-yawma tat ummi Fatima. Al-yawma ta'akhi al-Hasan المجتبى يا بقية الماضين وثمال الباقين. صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا شهدوا مهجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام. اللهم بلغ أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات، تابع بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات، إنك مجيب الدعوات، إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم بلغ أرواحهم جميعا، خصوصا أرواح من موتى من حضر جمعنا، ثواب الفاتحة مع الصلوات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Thank you, Qibla Tabarsi. Inshallah, Qibla starting this lecture tomorrow, 8 o'clock. So be on time. So inshallah, Qibla can finish his lecture on time. He started 8 o'clock tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you. Now we're going to start in the namaz in a few minutes, like 15 minutes. So everyone will do the wuzu, and then we start the majlis after the namaz al-Maghrib. Ba'ad bilan salawat. Allah.